Well, to answer your question as to why I left, it's because I don't get paid by the hour. When I used to get paid by the hour, I had no problem doing this shit till 5 a.m. or however long it fucking took. But not doing IT testing if I don't have to. So if they want to pay me extra to do so, yeah, I'll stick around. They're not paying me, so I'm not gonna do it. Blue Jays news. We don't really have a whole lot. We did outright Nick Sandlin to the minor leagues today, so he'll get claimed by another team. His velocity was down last year. He was pathetic versus what he usually does. He's usually a pretty solid reliever. I mean, I think he was pretty good over 4 years for Cleveland, but we basically gave him a big fuck you, sent him down to AAA. So I think we're now at 37 spots for our 40-man roster. I think we got the Rule 5 draft coming up, so we'll have to probably save, one or two guys that we like there to protect them from going to a different team. And also noted, Blue Jays are interested in everyone, but Rafael Iglesias is another reliever to watch. The Blue Jays have interest in him. I also mentioned we have interest in Edwin Diaz. I think we probably have interest in any notable name that's out there. But today we're going to focus on football, and we're going to preview Week 11. We didn't get a chance. No, we previewed Thursday Night Football, I do think. The New England and Jets game. So tomorrow's game, very interesting. A couple weeks ago, I wouldn't have said this, but Washington on the road against Miami. I do think Miami will win the game, and I think they'll cover the 2.5-point spread as well. So they're playing a lot better. Commanders have been kind of falling face first, so I feel pretty confident about that. Who the hell knows in this next game? Two extremely inconsistent teams. Carolina on the road against the Falcons. Carolina's been better at home. I think the Falcons have also been better at home as well. Let me just see if I can bring something up here that'll help me just a little bit. Just want to see the point differential and their win-losses on the road and at home. So Carolina 5-5. I think their only win on the road. No, they're 2-3, so they're pretty balanced. Atlanta, they're not very good at home either. This is interesting. I don't like Atlanta to cover the 3.5. I like Carolina to cover it, and you know what? Let's take Carolina to win as well. They've been an ascending team this year. I really like what they've been doing. Interesting game here. You've got the Bears on the road against the Vikings. Now the Vikings are in dire need of a win. They're in last place at 4-5. They're favored to win the game, even though Chicago is 6-3. Both are in the negatives for point differential. I can see Minnesota winning the game, and I do think they'll cover the 2.5-point spread as well. It's a must-win game. I don't think the Bears are as good as their record, so that's what I'm going with, and I'm sticking to it. Bengals on the road against the Steelers. Bengals need to cover 5.5. I like the Steelers to win by 6 or more, and I like the Steelers. Well, there you go, and Steelers to win, obviously, if they're going to win by 6 or more. It's a big game for them. They've got Baltimore, who's starting to get hot, and they really need to get things moving in the right direction. So big game against a shitty team. They should be okay there. Next game here, we do have the Green Bay Packers playing. Questionable Matthew Golden. I think also Savion Williams. Luca Van Ness could be back this week. So I think the questionables will play. Nate Hobbs isn't going to play. Doesn't look like Brandon McManus or Malik Heath will. But that might actually be a blessing in disguise for McManus not playing, because that backup kicker we had looked pretty good. So I think that's actually a plus. McManus hasn't been himself, so let's not bring him back until he can actually kick. We did lose Elgton Jenkins for the season, so I believe Sean Ryan will probably play under center, so we'll see how he does there. I didn't think he did anything detrimental last week against the Eagles. The Giants are extremely banged up. This is a must-win game for the Packers, who have, they've skid against some teams. Like, they've lost 3 games where they've let 16 points or less, like we said last week. So let's get back on track, get the record to 6-3-1, and let's progress towards winning this fucking division like we should. I like us to win. I do not necessarily like us to cover because we're kind of an unclutched team in that sense. So I'll take the Giants to cover, even though Jameis Winston's throwing. He should throw a good 2 picks, maybe even 3 tomorrow, but we'll see. Texans on the road against the Titans. I've got to take the Texans to win and the Texans to cover. I don't care if their fucking backup quarterback Mills is playing. I'm sticking with that. Chargers, frig you, Sage, frig you. I'm giving you the right thing right now. The Titans are garbage. You know they're garbage. They're the worst team in the league. They're not beating the fucking Texans. Let's just face it, brother. Really good game. Chargers on the road against the Jaguars. Trying to get a feel for this game because the Jaguars have kind of shown that they can beat anyone in the AFC. I mean, didn't they beat the Chiefs there the other week? 5-4. I don't love their point differential, -15. So it seems like they're kind of having to grind out some games, whereas the Chargers are a +37 for their net point. Doesn't necessarily mean a goddamn thing. This could go either way. Let me take the Chargers and the Chargers to cover the 3 as well. Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the road against the Buffalo Bills. This is kind of juicy. I think the Bills win, but even with the injuries, I think Tampa Bay can cover 6. They're going to keep that game close. They always keep games close. Baker Mayfield is a warrior, so we'll see what happens there. A really good game here. This could probably be considered the game of the week potentially. You've got the Seattle Seahawks on the road with the Los Angeles Rams. I don't know if you should bench Matt Stafford or not tomorrow. This is going to be a tough game. Both teams in the NFC West with a 7-2 record. The net points are crazy for these teams. You're talking 2 elite defenses. 153 points against for the Rams, 172 for the Seahawks. Net points coming in at 98 for the fucking Rams and 103 for the Seahawks. This is going to be a good game. This will be a good game. I like the Rams to win, but I do like Seattle to keep this close. I think this will be a 1-point game. I think it'll be like a 21-20, something like that. So I do think Seattle's going to cover that 3-point spread there. 49ers on the road against the Cardinals. I think we know by now that the Cardinals are just... They'll keep games close, but they're not going to win. So absolutely, I do think that the Niners are going to win. Wouldn't surprise me if there was an upset here at all. It wouldn't. But I think they're missing a few running backs. They're not closing out games. Both teams are in double digits for their point differential. Let's just go with San Fran because that's the easier thing. Do I think it'll be closer than 3.5? I'm going to take the Cardinals to cover. I think it'll be a close game. It's a division game. They usually keep those within 3. Baltimore on the road against the Cleveland Browns. I like Baltimore to win, simply put, and I like them to cover the 7.5-point spread as well. I just don't see Cleveland doing a whole lot. Baltimore's in a zone right now. Lamar Jackson's playing great, so I'll take that. And you retract your statement about the Packers, or you lose your wrench. How's that sound there? Battle puffing. And also coming in, we've got, 3 more games. So this is another good one. I don't look at this as quite as good as the Seahawks-Rams game because I don't think they're quite as good as those 2 teams. But you got Kansas City going up against, the Denver Broncos. I think it'll be a game where it's going to be grindy. It's going to be tight defense. I think it'll be fairly low scoring. J.K. Dobbins isn't going to be playing, so we'll see what R.J. Harvey's got for me in the fantasy world. 8-2 Denver. I feel like they haven't really played to that record. I know they've played well, but I don't necessarily think they've played for that record. I think Kansas City is actually going to win this game, which of course means Kansas City's favored. Kansas City's favored when they're on the road against a better team. Okay, that's interesting. I thought I had my underdog pick of the week there. Do I like Kansas City to win by more than 4? Not on the road. I'll take Denver to cover the 4. I think Kansas City wins that game though. Detroit Lions on the road against the Eagles. Now this is a hard one to predict. This is Philly's going to have to kind of ugly the game up like they did against the Packers. I don't think offensively they're going to be able to stick around with Detroit, but you never know. I'm trying to think. Philly just doesn't seem like they can score, and actually, Detroit's defense is very similar. So it is in Philly, so that does change things up. I do kind of look at Goff as a bit of a a quarterback who's not going to play good and cold. I'll take Philly to win, Detroit to cover the 2.5. That's kind of how I feel. Dallas on the road against the lowly Las Vegas Raiders. I'm going to tell you you're wrong, bitch, and that's all I'm going to say about it. Sorry about that for our folks that actually have etiquette. Dallas Cowboys on the road against the Raiders. I don't know. Maybe this is a game Geno Smith throws 4 touchdowns. It wouldn't surprise me, but Dallas wins. Dallas wins by 3 or more. That's all I'm going to say about that. And that's it. That's our slate of games. We will definitely be back at it tomorrow to go over Sunday's results and any Blue Jays rumblings that are out there, which are going to be plenty this offseason. But for now, I'm out of here. Have a good night, fuckers. We'll see you tomorrow.